Welcome into September, ladies and gentlemen. The Colorado Rockies, again, will not really have an important September in terms of their own destiny, but they will be looking at the destiny of others. And we start here at the standing screen, let you peruse on who is important, who is going to have some big series coming up, and maybe some of the opponents we're playing have some games and some series on the line that's going to determine whether they'll be playing in October or on their couch in October. We have some teams already clinching up postseason spots, like the Rangers. They're at 94 wins already at the beginning of the month. And let's get right into it. Here against the Angels, we find ourselves in a interesting game. Teoscar Hernandez is going to swing at that Clay Holmes pitch, and we will continue into the 10th inning with the Angels trying to put us away here. Could not push across a run there in extras, and it is 3 runs on 10 hits. This one smacked deep by Taylor Ward, and Rafaela doing some great defensive work, picking it up right in front of that foul pole. Runner's able to move up 30 feet, or 90 feet, but incredible play by Rafaela. Mickey Moniak, former top overall pick, sky to Rafaela. He's trying to edge it out or trying to get behind the ball at a good angle. That ends up stumbling in the wall and unfortunately costs himself the good throw opportunity. And just like that, the Angels win. Rafaela making some 2 great plays, but just that stumble right at the end, difference between maybe getting him out at home and losing that one. And that's Victor Vodnik giving up the game-winning run. And the Angels pick one up, and right here you see this stumble right there. Kind of broke down, went into the wall, made the catch, however. Maybe if you're going down like that, you'll let the ball go and try again, but who knows. Yanquiel Fernandez here with a nice hitting streak. He's going to be going up against the Los Dodgers of Los Angeles. A 2-2 game. Smacked into right field, but on the end of the bat, and this is going to hang up just in time for Pages out there in right field. And 1 down, 2 down for the Dodgers. Fernandez, some redemption here in the 9th inning, as Freddie Freeman's not going to let anything get by him. The former Gold Glover turns 2, and we're off into extras. Yamamoto actually being used as a reliever here, and with 3-2 count, runners off. Fernandez is going to dump that one in the corner and break this tie, and it's going to move his hitting streak up to 11 games as he brings across 2 with that ground rule double. Fastball right down the pipe, and he just keeps it fair. Jameson trying to end the Dodgers' day. Rafaela ranges over, picks it up in foul territory, very reminiscent to where he did Crosstown in Anaheim. And with 2-2 count, Trey Sweeney is going to pop this one up. Nolan Jones is there, and a foul out will do it as the Rockies win it, thanks to Yanquiel Fernandez's big hit in the 11th inning. Jameson closes the door as the Rockies pick up a win against the division-leading Dodgers. Going to skip ahead here to the game against the Kansas City Royals as they've come to town with a 79-75 record. We're knocking on the door of 100 losses yet again. We're trying to keep that out of the back of our minds as we put on our City Connects and trot out there to face off against the Royals. It'll be Joe Rock with the pill today, number 24. 13 games started this year, 6.45 ERA. Someone that made his debut last year and is his first year with the club, and started the year down in AAA, and is basically 1 full season under his belt now if you take the last 2 years combined. And he's going to start off by giving a rope to Harold Ramirez, an aggressive hitter, jumps on that first pitch and stands up with a double. Rock has been okay. He's had his moments. Obviously a 6.75 ERA, not fantastic, but he's young. He's a lefty. We'll keep him around for as long as we can. Maybe he just becomes a bullpen guy for us, a bulk innings guy. Davis Schneider, the dorkiest guy we'll face all season. says take that and puts it 350 into left field and just gets over the wall. 365 it ends up being, but it doesn't seem that way. It's Schneider making his way to Kansas City and making his imprint known here in Colorado. 2-0 just like that. Kansas City jumps out to a big lead. Vinny Pasquantino, the Pasquatch, grounds into a double play ball, which is done up by Bryant and Tovar. Only needed 2 to tango there. 2 down, and ever so closely getting closer to getting out of this inning is Joe Rock, as they're able to cut down Bobby Witt, probably the fastest man in all of baseball, out of the base paths. A strikeout to end the inning, and that's going to do it here as 2 get pushed across thanks to Davis Schneider and his home run in the top of the first inning. 3 hits for the Royals, 2 runs, including that 2-run home run that we just mentioned, and that's going to bring up the pitcher today, Daniel Lynch, the lefty. 1-2 record, just 3 games started, and his ERA is ballooned up to right around where Joe Rock's is, so really a toss-up on who you want. A 6.28 ERA in 3 games or 6.25 in 13. A rocket by Jones, and Pasquantino play a Hayden as no one gets on base for the Rockies, and they're scoreless at the bottom of the first. Top 2, Ramirez comes back for more. This time there are runners on, and he's going to drive 1 in. Good play by Doyle to get to it quickly and toss it into Tovar, which keeps the runner on second base, but 3-0 Royals before a lot of people even got to the ballpark. Schneider will ground out, will not have a repeat of his first inning at bat, which is probably some sweat wiped off of the brow of Rockies fans, but Ramirez strikes again, another big hit, 6 hits already through just a couple. Teoscar Hernandez will lead us off here. 756 OPS, a pretty solid first season here in Coors, and he is going Coors. Leave that fastball high, and this one is demolished deep out there in the left field as Teoscar puts a bow on his 22nd home run, I believe, or 21st home run of the year. They show us right here, 22 on the season. That one traveled 433 feet. The best part about him, we have him for another cheap season. As we're looking ahead to next season, and we're looking to try to do something good. Teoscar is definitely going to be in a crowded outfield. Bobby Witt Jr. has some speed to burn. Doyle is going to get it in a double by Bobby Witt. But yeah, we're going to be looking at some places to upgrade. First base is a place that we really want to shore up. Rafaela makes a great catch out there in left field, gets it in, but Bobby Witt thought he was down for longer, and the relay gets him. So an aggressive move by Bobby Witt is cut down at the plate. Ezequiel Tovar picking that throw from Rafaela made an acrobatic catch in left field. And Rockies with some good fielding display here as they trail the Royals still 3-1. An unfortunate double play ball is a great play around the horn by the Royals, and that keeps any threat of scoring off here in the third inning. But back to what I was saying, we're approaching the offseason pretty soon. Obviously, pitching is something that we want to upgrade, but we're going to be doing that from the inside, I believe. And we still have some questions on this diamond position-wise. Nolan Jones, however, not one of those questions. He guns it over to first base. The outfield still needs to be solidified. Brenton Doyle, as much as I was saying that he's kind of a fixture out there, we love with this defensively, his bat has just been so bad. And we haven't got really any production. And can you afford to have a gray area on a red area on the bat at any point with a team this bad? Maybe the defense isn't. If we were a really good team and we were winning 90 games a year, then yeah, maybe the defense there will help a little bit. But here it doesn't. Right field, Wiener Beck has yet to really take a step up and really truly solidify themselves. Someone who has solidified themselves is Ezequiel Tovar, one of the best hitting shortstops in all the land. Takes that one for a ride. Now we're creeping up on Lynch. It's now 3-2. But they have not yet, none of those guys have yet to really say, hey, I am the starting right fielder. We have Sterling Thompson in the mix as well. He's been doing all right since being up here in Colorado. So between those two, Rafaela's been okay in left field. That's the position, the all outfield. If we can add something there, that would be great. Nolan Jones ties this one up. Course slider left hanging. This one goes so deep. Let's check the tape of this one. 493. Probably one of the biggest home runs hit, and a career high in home runs is that 33 number. The farther you push, the more of a career year it is. Is Nolan Jones looking for a 30-20 season. That one smacked. First base also, Ankiel has been great, but first base DH, I feel like we can do something there, but that's kind of what we're looking at. As Thompson thinking 3 on this one, but he's going to hold up on 2 actually. And with no outs, here come the Rockies. Got a couple home runs in the last inning. Now the 5th starts off with a 6th double by Thompson. Romo's going to line this one in center field and bring home Sterling, as that is going to be the go-ahead run. 4-3 now as we jump ahead of the Royals, who haven't scored since the 2nd inning. Joe Rock settling in, gets the double play ball he needs, and he goes 6 innings after giving up 2 runs through the first 2 batters of the day. He ended up going 6 and getting a quality start. Dale Amador lifts a cutter as Michael Wacha's now in this ball game, and Dale Amador leaves the yard as he takes that cutter that was left middle and dumps it into right field. As Dale Amador, his season has been up and down, but for a pretty solid year, I think, for starting a full year. Just for the 2nd time on this team as he goes into the sky and gets a home run. Dre Jamison can come out and try to close it. Let's slam this door as nothing's happened over the last couple of innings. He's going to have Royals lineup. 4-for-4 record, 22 of 30 saves, so did blow 8 so far this year. Hasn't been fantastic, but hasn't been terrible either. We deal with the production. And Nolan Arenado, old front alert, going to make his way on into the batter's box. Is Arenado one of the fixtures and one of the best players in Colorado history? Has 30 home runs this year. We won't allow him to hurt us as we're going to walk him. And Nolan Jones, a great diving catch. SportsCenter, you don't have to work too hard. We just found your top play. As look at this snag. Something about being named Nolan and being really good at third base in Colorado. It just has a nice ring to it. Connor Joe, another old friend. This could be the go-ahead home run. Doyle, 415 back against the wall and puts it away. A heart attack fly ball, but a out nonetheless, and that is your ball game as Colorado takes on former star Nolan Arenado. Sucks that we didn't get to see him his whole game. Colorado wins again. Yes, sir. You can only bring that sign out for, just the 64th time this year as you're trying to get to the end of this season. And check this box score. Ramirez, a couple of hits. The top of the lineup got a bunch of hits. Freddie Fermin had a couple, but really that middle lineup really left a lot on the table for the Royals. For the Rockies, all a team effort. Only needed 9 hits to put up 5 runs, and a home run by Tovar, Jones, Amador, and Hernandez. Really, still most of the production via solo home runs, and bullpen. Fantastic. Coming up towards the end of the season, the last start of Chase Dollander is potentially going to be a complete game shutout. His 100th pitch was a ball, but has given up no runs to the Arizona Diamondbacks here. A very good Diamondbacks team as Ketel Marte flies out. Dollander's been awesome. We have him locked up for the next several years, about $7.5 million per. As this is popped up, Naylor, a offseason acquisition, is going to fly out to, I believe that's Zach Veen over there. If not, it's certainly Thompson. One of the two. It is Thompson. And there's down. But Dollander's been solid, and he is looking as one of the faces of our franchise. And someone that can really break that stigma of pitchers always suck in Coors Field. And so far, he just threw a complete game shutout as under Doyle, and that's going to do it for this one here against the Arizona Diamondbacks. final standings check. The Diamondbacks and the Reds. That's really the last battle to be settled out. The American League wild card is all good. The Orioles and the Rays, the only thing that they can do is swap positions in the standings. But that is going to bring us here to the final game of the season, game 162 against the San Diego Padres. I know my boy Don Orsillo is loving this 91-70 Padres team. We will not finish with over 100 losses this year, which is great. That's a mini victory of sorts. But however, we still do not have the season that we wanted, that you wanted. We lost 15-2 in game 1, 6-0 in game 2, and just trying to close out this season with a win would be great. And just have something to hang our hats on. And give one last fight to the Padres, who have clinched up wild card standings. Robbie Snelling has not been good. We faced him. He's been up and down the last couple of years. We faced him and lit him up, I believe, in year number 2 or something like that. But he dots up Ezekiel Tovar to begin things here today with a changeup on that outside corner. And it was filthy pitch. Just clips it, and Umcam proves it. Nolan Jones with 2 down in the top of the first inning. Again, a left-handed hitter who hits lefties very well and absolutely sauces this one into right field. He will be on first base, but not for long. Steals second base, and then we move up here. He's on third base. He will double steal, and that's 2 stolen bases in the inning for Nolan Jones, and officially over 22 now, so a 30-20 season for Nolan. Had that coming in, but just solidifies that, and getting very aggressive, getting 2 in scoring position for Young Keel. 2-2 count. Young Keel is going to ground it to second base. Bogarts is there, and that's going to end the inning. So you get 2 on in scoring position, but nobody comes across for the Rockies. And Antonio Senzatella, potentially his last game with Colorado, has been decent for us the last 2 years. He missed 2024 with an elbow injury, and the last 2 years has probably been our best pitcher, especially if you take the averages of both years and put him against everybody else. He's been surprisingly solid, but $10 million owed to him next year. I believe he has a team option, and I can tell you we're probably not picking it up, especially after Ha-Seong Kim takes him into right center field on the first pitch of the game. Brenton Doyle chases it down and able to get there before Kim has really a strong thinking of third base, and that will be a 33rd double for Kim. Swing over the top of that curveball is Manny Machado, second out of the inning, as they are in danger of stranding Kim on second base. Senzatella, first strikeout of his day. Brings up Gary Sanchez, the American League Rookie of the Year, 2018, maybe? No. Could be? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Could have been, potentially. I don't know. Strikes out. I know that for the fact. Drew Romo lets that ball get by, but not by too much. However, the throw is, I guess, not in time, as it looked very, very close. But I guess no cigars. Fernando Tatis Jr. is in there safely. I thought they had enough to get him, but I guess not. 3-2, no out, and a fantastic slider to Luis Campusano, who that at-bat lasted a very long time. Lane Thomas isn't going to drive in both, but will drive in run. As Tatis tags up and heads to the plate, he scores fairly easily. Does keep the runner on second base, though. Manny Machado will leave him there. Over to third base eventually as we're in the third inning. A strikeout of Machado, and then Sanchez waves at that one. Tovar coming in. Tough play, but still a Gold Glover in Ezekiel Tovar. He proves it there. David Fry going to take this one deep into the outfield. Sterling Thompson racing up, and he cannot get it with 2 outs. Everybody running, and that's going to bring in 2 runs for the Dads of San Diego. 3-0. David Fry, a 2-run double for him, his 8th of the season. And Thompson just couldn't. You can't really see with the team logo covering him, but just misses it. Ha-Seong Kim, I don't know what he exactly was looking for, but that hanging slider gets him looking for strike 3. And Fry puts him up 3-0 here as we're through 4 in sunny San Diego. And nothing has happened. Our offense kept at bay. Snelling still in there. Amador gets on to start the inning and potentially start this rally. San Diego has added one since we last saw them. Tovar's going to go to right field. This will drop right in front of the right field. I believe that's Lane Thomas out there. Now you got two on. Oh, that's Tatis out there, Lane Thomas in left field. Jones going to ground this one to Bogarts. He flips over to Kim, back over to first base, and not in time. So that keeps himself out of double play, but still keeps him in double play position. And Teoscar Hernandez trying to be the hero. All they need, they're down just 4. And now make it down just 1. As Teoscar, in his last at-bat probably of the year, obliterates that hanging curveball. And Snelling, they were pushing Snelling, trying to get the complete game shut for him on the last game of the year, a game that doesn't really matter much. And he lets up a long ball, and I mean a long ball, to Teoscar Hernandez. 446, 108 off the bat, tattooed every sense of the world. And Yel De Los Santos gives up a drive to Fernandez and right at the wall. And look at Young Keel. He is not happy about it. We'll cut to him real quick, and he just missed it. Derlin Thompson, with our season on the line, is going to fly out to left field. And that will do it for 2026? Already in 2026? Goodness gracious. And that will do it here for the 2026 season. We're finally over with it. Padres win the last game of the season, the last day of our season. And Robbie Snelling picks up the win, Santella picks up the loss, and Colorado loses yet again to end their year. Let's check on the box score. Amador a hit, 2 for Nolan, but 6 hits overall for the team. Home run by Teoscar, 3 stolen bases by Nolan Jones. And Santella and Feltner pitched well. 11 hits for the Padres, including a couple multi-hit games from some players. Snelling was phenomenal, and De Los Santos gets his 54th save of the year. Now, as always, let's look at some of our big stats from the minor leagues. As Double-A, Garinger was great in his first action. We had a scouting profile of him this year, and he was tremendous. Stayed in tune and led. It was in the top of the league at a lot of those positions. Led league in walks, and by a good margin, too. Max Wagner broke out. We talked about his breakout and his prospect profile we did earlier this season, and he was awesome all year. Juan Guerrero continues to produce, someone that we can really have on this team, especially as a utility guy. He can play everywhere, and he just continues to produce with the bat, something that we thought maybe we weren't going to get from him, but we ended up getting from him a lot in these last couple of years, and really has pushed him into one of our better prospects. Hunter Goodman had power, but everything else took a step back. I mean, last year he had a phenomenal year. This year, the power was still there, but didn't hit for as much average, struck out a little bit more, and we weren't really seeing a lot from him. Leland Metzger is a stolen base threat. Did not play a bunch of this season, but still almost like 30 bases. He's now a weapon that we could use potentially. Ralphie Velasquez just had a shitty season for all things considered. Just did not hit at all this season. Osiris Johnson was disappointing as well. And that's really notables from the hitting side of things. All of our top pitchers pitched very well. Power and Leonard both nails all season. J.J. Rose didn't wow, but wasn't awful. Hardesty had a real nice season as well, doing his thing. Jaden Hill and Fernando Benitez had real nice seasons. So those are kind of what we saw from our starters. Charlie Soto we had in the bullpen. He was kind of a mess. He did not do well. He had a lot of saves, but his ERA was super, super high. Just really wasn't something that we kind of had to force because we weren't going to put him in the rotation over anybody else. So that's just kind of the way it rolled out. And that's what we have for Double-A this year. Is really impressed with our Double-A squad, as we always are. That's where most of our minor league talent lives. And they did really, really well. And you'll see also where they kind of placed in the league in some statistics, as well as what they did for the season as a whole. In Triple-A, Bouchard and Hanna quadruple A seasons continue. Just can really, really hit here in AAA, but just can't be in the major leagues. And those are two guys you might be looking to move on from in the offseason. Tolia hit for power, but we're probably done with him. The Michael Tolia experience is probably done. Just hasn't been a consistent bat. He just refuses to be consistent. And that we can't have that. Warming Burnable is okay, but he's kind of roping himself into the Tolia conversation. He's a guy we're going to have to make a decision soon. I'm pretty sure he's all out of options. And I don't think he's particularly close to making big league camp, and someone that might get outrighted potentially, honestly. Yoeliki Cespedes and Montgomery and Khalil Watson all disappointing, especially Montgomery, who had a really, really good year last year and did not have a great year this year. Went back to AA, ended up being back in AAA, I believe, but took a step back. Khalil Watson never really got it together, and that's what we got. Pitching, we're not really going to take much of your time there. Pitching was just not good. We don't have any guy that's mostly just depth down there. We don't have any guys that are really in our plans. Pereira, but other than that, all our guys were in AA. And we moved Bud Leonard up. He got hit a little bit. I think we moved him back down. But you're not going to waste your time there. You'll fast forward through all that. The Major League statistics, and here's what we have for our players here in season number 3. Nolan Jones and DeVar were awesome with career highs in just about everything. Home runs, RBI, stolen bases, you name it, they did it. They were phenomenal. Our 2 cornerstones offensively for us. And DeVar, again, like I said, that price keeps going up, and we might have to match it. Hopefully, luckily for us, his timeline kind of ends where the Chris Bryant timeline ends as well. So he'll be getting that money that we were giving to Chris Bryant, and hopefully with some other moves we make, he'll be here for a very long time. Teoscar, Yanquiel, and Amador were solid with moments in this season. They had some good games that we saw. They were up and down at times, but overall ended pretty solidly with an OPS over 700 for all 3 of them, with Yanquiel and Hernandez having more league average OPSs. Romo, fine year. Again, the guy that we're not looking much offensively from, but a guy that we would love to get some offense from. So anything he can add is just a plus for us. Starlin Thompson was good in his short time here and definitely going to be given a chance to win a job out of camp this coming spring. Raphael did not hit at all after the trade. He had some really good hitting statistics when we got him, but once he kind of got a lot more playing time than he did in Boston, he did not really fare too well. Doyle's future in question, I mentioned it earlier in the Royals game. Is he really going to be immune, even with his hitting being the way it was? We just need 1 or 2 more horses, I think, offensively. I think that's a really big difference. We're playing a lot of replacement level guys in our lineup, and just 2 guys who are, 3 WAR players, I think could really change this offense around. And it could really make our lineup very, very deadly. On the pitching side of things, Trey Jameson was our best pitcher. Riley Pint was good as well. Dollander did take a step back, but still someone that we look at as one of the cornerstones of this pitching staff going forward. Chris Bubich was solid. White was shelled in his debut, and he did really good in his first couple of games, but once he started giving up those home runs, it just became a problem and snowballed, and that's our notable pitchers for you. League leaders, Bubich was near the top in walks in terms of giving up the least amount, and Nolan Jones, one of the top WAR players and top in OPS as well among the rest of the league. In awards, you're seeing the awards flash across your screen. Adele Amador won his 3rd Gold Glove. Was 3rd in Gold Glove. He did not win his 3rd Gold Glove. It was 3rd in Gold Glove voting at second base. Tovar was 2nd in Gold Glove, and Doyle won the Gold Glove at center field. So that's the one thing again where you could probably keep using him because he's still pretty good. The end of the month went 8-15 to wrap up 63-99, which is awful, but our best record to date. So will take it. That's going to do it here for another edition of Colorado Rockies baseball. This offseason is going to be pivotal. I've teased a couple times we're going to make a huge move. I think I have my eyes set on a difference maker that can really, really help us. So stay tuned for that offseason that's coming. And we're going to make some moves. So the next couple of months while we wait for Rockies baseball, give me one more chance, everybody. I'm sure these moves are going to pique your interest at the very least. We're going to get to winning here in Colorado pretty damn soon.